What's up, Necronom? What's not here? I'm here? Yep. Nobody's here yet. Just my buddy Paul. He can't see you because you're not. There you are. Right there. All right. So, Paul, I hope you're ready for a pretty epic stream. I'm going to be doing my countdown of top 5 arcade games of all time. And then I'm going to stream some Sim City for the Super Nintendo. And then I'm going to play some Chrono Trigger also for the Super Nintendo. So it's going to be. I plan on doing this for a while because I feel like I'm in the mood to play some video games. Hey Darren, welcome. So first thing I need to do is get my list so I can remember what my top arcade games are. Okay. Here. Yeah, I'm on vacation week. So put off the work that I have to do today. And I will do it tomorrow. And today shall be the day of playing lots of videos. Hey Dazzly. Yeah, Ravi is coming over in like a couple weeks. So I think he's coming here in like 1 week. And maybe in 2 weeks he'll be here for Amigos. So that'll be super awesome. That's right, mañana, they say here in the United States. Let's see here. Get my first game up. May depending on how well this thing is actually indexed my games. I'm gonna move over to Xbox to do this. After all, yeah, I don't know why I'm having such a hard time getting this version of MAME to index all of my games. I know I've got tons of this stuff, but that's okay. While we are turn over Xbox, leave on and ready for just such an occasion. How are you guys doing? Paul and Daz and Darren, anything new and exciting going on in your world this Monday evening? Hey Pixels, what's going on, man? Which Yakuza game are you playing, Paul? Wow, you guys sound like you're having awesome days. Recapping a 600? Want to play badminton? All I got are these thousands and thousands of video games in front of me. Let's see. So we're going to go ahead and get our first game queued up here. I've always wanted to get into those games. They seem like they're so cool. but I don't know how I feel about you. You kind of, is it sort of like Grand Theft Auto where you're always playing sort of a villain? I like to play one of those games where you're actually a good guy. A little bit. All right. Perfect. Ready to actually start the stream. Okay. I feel like we can probably... This volume seems a little bit low. Testing, 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 testing. All right, that seems better. Do I clip when I talk? Okay, that's good. Yeah, the whole Yakuza thing, I mean, of course, the Japanese culture slant on it is really cool. All the neon and going to the restaurants and stuff. That part has always seemed awesome. Okay, so I'm going to start the actual recording here. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to my top 5 arcade games of all time. This is part of my top 20 series, the final installment. And we are going to kick things off with a Bali Midway game. This one's from 1983, I believe. So 1 year shy of my ultimate favorite year of arcade games, 1984, but still a great game. This is Tapper. And so we are going to start it right up here. So in Tapper, you play a barkeep, and your job is to fill the cups of your patrons. For some reason, you know, your patrons are coming at you from multiple doors and multiple bars, and your job is to serve them all without accidentally serving too many and having any beer spill on the ground. You also have to pick up spare glasses and pick up tips. When you pick up tips, your crowd is somewhat distracted, which buys you valuable time. And the challenge becomes, of course, you know, this is a game that you can either play to get to the next stage or play for points. And if you're playing for points, which is my favorite way to play it, you really want to make sure that you're picking up all of the tips, because that's where the majority of your points are. I'm going to die soon. Okay. There are several versions of this game. Oh, I messed up. There is Tapper, which is a Budweiser deal. There's also another beer version of this that I think was exclusive to Japan, and it was sponsored by Suntory, which is another brewery, I guess. This game is a very highly sought-after original cabinet, because it actually features a real beer tap on it, which is pretty neat. It also has a brass rail at the bottom of the cabinet, so you can get that authentic bar experience. Oh, I thought I'd completed the stage. Oh, I didn't even see those guys up there. So that was not great. Not a great first performance. I'm gonna see if I can do this better again. You know what? I'm not entirely sure that the Xbox saves your initials, so I won't put too much thought into that. So you can see that the tip is worth 10 times the amount. More than 10 times the amount, especially in these early stages. I am going to endeavor to quickly pass the second stage to show you the bonus stage. But just like Pixels was saying in the chat, this is a ingenious game because it's literally up and down and a button. But the mechanic is super, super fun. I think that, you know, there's probably been more than a few games, and I've already forgotten which one. I think it's the second from the left. Was opining and not watching properly. Alright. So there's a bonus stage. Pretty neat. Now we go to the fairground. One thing I really like about this game is that all of the enemies, if you can call them that, all of your patrons have such personality. You know, they're all drawn, they're all animated well. And this game never really cheats you. You know, if you lose, it's always down to your own ineptitude. Things get real out of control real quick if you don't manage correctly. Oh! Couldn't make it happen. See you, Darren. See you, free lunch. Right now, I'm being joined in the chat by Pixels at Dawn. Darren Coles was here. Free lunch was just here. Necronom. So we got a nice little crowd. Watch the final part of the countdown. The next stage after this is a kind of a biker bar type atmosphere, and then the final stage, what I don't think I've ever actually gotten to, is an alien deal. But I am not good enough to get that far. Oh, okay, Darren. Sorry, I misread you there. Oh, this is definitely one of these games where if you play the console adaptations, they're all much, much easier than the arcade version. Particularly the 2600 version. So it's much easier. This game also available in non-alcoholic varieties. The root beer tapper is one that they would put in the more kid-friendly establishments. And so this has been number 5, Tapper. Let's go on. So this is going to be, every time I look at the list, I'm like, oh, I love this one. Duh, because I made the list. So this next game is one that is quite controversial among the Amigos community, because out of me, Brent, and Aaron, I am the only one that likes this game. This is City Connection. So City Connection is a very neat game. It's on the face of it, it looks like a racing game. You're in a car, right? But it's not really a racing game at all. Your job is to literally paint the town green or blue or whatever color. And so you've got this, you're on a multi-level stage here, and each stage represents a different city, which is kind of neat. And your job is to paint all of the stage and not get hit by any of the police. You do have a projectile. You can fire oil cans at the police cars. That's one of the best ways to really build up your score. You want to avoid the cat. The cat will make you die. So just, oh, and you also want to avoid doing that. If you get that balloon, I believe that it warps you. If you get a certain number, it warps you to a different zone automatically, which is kind of neat. Yeah, this is sort of similar to Bomb Jack. Let's see here. So that's what you want to do. You get the combos where you're knocking off 5 or 6 of these police cars at a time. But that cat will spawn without warning and do some damage if you're not careful. The trickiest parts of this is just getting those edges and being able to kind of just make sure you're as efficient as possible. Now there isn't a time limit, which is great. I'm not a big fan of games with time limits. I don't even believe that there is any kind of a bonus for completing a stage in a certain amount of time. I am a fan of this car. My very first new car that I bought soon after I graduated from university was a 2003 Volkswagen Golf Coupe. I believe the color was some kind of wacky, it was called like Mojave Brown or something like that. It's clearly a color they were trying to move because it wasn't selling real well. And but anyway, playing this game always takes me back to that car. That was a real fun car. I only had it about a year before I traded it in on another Golf, and one of the worst financial decisions I ever made. But anyway, it's just another reason why I like this game. A game that features a little hatchback instead of a monster muscle car like so many games do. It's okay with me in my book. Oh yeah, Carve Up on the Amiga is a clone of City Connection. Dreamcatcher actually just did an article on that not too long ago. Oh. Alright, I'm nearly there. I think this might be the last little piece. Nope. Oh yeah. So this has very anime-inspired art. This is a, I'm trying to remember, I know that Jaleco published this on the NES, which is where I first played it. But I can't remember who actually did the real game. Somebody wants to look that up in the chat. I would appreciate it, because I can't remember. But the guy on the cover, I remember, of the NES game was smoking a cigarette, and so can't get away with that these days. I think on the Game Over screen he's also smoking. So this is sort of like Pang in that, you know, you're going around the world as you're playing these different stages, which I like. Alright, it's time to knock some of these. Oh! See? I'm telling you, man. That cat, right where you least expect it. Oh yeah, I guess it's Jaleco in the arcades too. Okay, we're gonna try this again. I know I can do better. But this time it's all business. We're gonna... Oh boy. It's almost the end right there before we even started. Yeah, that cat, it's giant, and it's apparently made out of like reinforced steel because it destroys your car immediately. Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to one day cover Carve Up on maybe an arcade port show of Amigos. But Aaron and Brent just hate this game for some reason. I don't know why. To me, it's got a lot of charm. if you can time it just right, you can get that edge and you can make the jump at the same time. I know it's possible. I'm just not very good. That last edge that I need. You get mega points if you could get down there. But I can't get down there without hitting a car on my way down. Oops. There we go. Oh my gosh! Freaking cat. All right, well we're gonna finish this off here. See you, Darren. Hope you have a good drive home. All right, almost done with this stage. Just gotta get this last little bit here. Come up here. Bam. Driven all the highway. It's funny, I was playing a little bit of Euro Truck Simulator last night. How far we've come. I don't know that you can draw a direct line between City Connection and Euro Truck Simulator, but I think you kind of can. Oh, trying to get those corners just right. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Euro Truck. I've played it in virtual reality, and to be honest with you, I was a little bit squeamish, so I've gone back to playing it in actual reality or whatever, just with the monitor. But it's a great game to play right before you go to bed because it's just so relaxing. And I don't play any music or anything; it's just the sound of the engine, and slowly building my truck empire. Nope. There's the balloon. I need to catch that balloon. Out of the way. Jump! There we go. Oh boy, that was very close. Oh, there's a spike there. So apparently, you know, once you go so far, the level will start spawning spikes on you. Okay, just finishing this up here. Trying to think of what the next stage is. I want to say it's somewhere in Asia, I think. Come on. I'm all over the place here. Come on. Just getting those last little bit of edge is challenging. Yeah, I have. It didn't make me as ill as, oh, Dazzly asked if I'd played Elite Dangerous VR, and I have. It didn't make me quite as squeamish, but I didn't like, I was just a little bit off in how I was sitting and how my character was sitting, so when I looked down, it wouldn't look quite right. But if you have the proper HOTAS setup, that is definitely the way to play Elite. Talk about an immersive experience. I haven't played Elite in a long time, though. I sold my Oculus this summer to pay for some medical bills, and I haven't played Elite since before I sold my Oculus, so it's been a while for sure. Here's my balloon. Oh yeah, Paris, okay. The backgrounds are just beautiful though. That's one of my favorite parts of the game. Just how pretty they are. Oh boy, well, I'm glad I didn't make that jump, because that would have been it for me. See you, Pixels. Have a great time at badminton. I think I might have just gotten an extra life. Ooh. Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, you don't want to hang out on that bottom ledge too much, or you will be impaled. Okay. Now, I don't think I've ever gotten past this stage. I don't recall anything past the third stage, so we'll see how this goes. It becomes more and more difficult to jump between the levels, the way that they draw the platforms on the stage. That has something to do with it, because it's not always an open gap to where you need to go. Let's get a nice little ledge there. Pop back up. This is really a game that you can stretch a quarter. You can play for quite a bit of time, unless you die, like I did. So anyway, that was City Connection. I'm the number 7 top pointer. Okay, moving on to number 3. This is the earliest game, I believe, in the countdown. This is a Universal game called Ladybug. Ladybug is a maze type game. It's it's Pac-Man with a couple extra levels of things going on. It's not fair to call it a Pac-Man clone because it's so much different, but it is a top-down maze game. So I mean, there's that. And so what you want to do is you want to collect these hearts when they're blue. And then collect the letters. Brent is a great hand at Ladybug, and he's really the master of this. This has, you know, these gates that you can see here. Oh boy. And so you can kind of play on the defense and set yourself up so you're not going to be hit by these things as much as you can. And once these guys all leave the pen, there will be a fruit that appears. And there is friendly fire, so if those bugs hit the skulls, they will die. I always thought was cool. Oh boy, he could have killed me and he didn't. Hey, Pishbot. Haven't seen you in forever, man. Yeah, right, Necronom. Ladybird is, in America, when we think ladybird, we actually think about a dog. One of the former presidents of the United States had a dog named Ladybird. I want to say that it was Lyndon Johnson, but I'm not sure. So that's what most people, I think, in the States think of when they hear ladybird, because we call this insect a ladybug, as it were. So the idea is that you want to get up to the ×5 as soon as possible. Whoa! And, oh man. The AI is sometimes suspect in this game in your favor. Oh boy, I'm not going to escape that though. Like I said, I'm not great at this game, but I can recognize the amount of skill that you need to really be good at it. And so ideally what you do is you camp around those letters, and when they're red, that's when you get them, because then they're worth 5 times the amount of points. You know, spelling special earns you a free game, which isn't that important when you're playing on main. Oh, it's all about the points. Yeah, it's a very challenging game. All right, I like the name selection thing too. It's cool. All right, let's try it again. That's interesting, Paul. Drelbs? I've not heard of that one. Okay. So now we just want to camp. Get these things all around here as much as we can. And hopefully... Oh, I missed it. I mean, you only get a couple frames before it's too late. Missed it again. Haha! Haha! Try again here. Hey, Lobsterminator, how's it going, man? Oh, nope, nope, nope. Hey, Treyguard. Haven't seen you in a while, Treyguard. How you been? You know, another thing I haven't seen since in the 2 games that I've played, I haven't exhausted... Oh. There's the end of the first stage. I'm wondering... Okay, yeah, you don't want that. So... Definitely want to get the hearts first. I want to get the hearts when they're blue. It's beautiful here in the States today. It's like 60 degrees. my wife and I were out distributing some Thanksgiving meals to the less fortunate this morning, and we just couldn't believe how warm it was. It was, oh boy, oh boy. It felt more like April than November. Yeah, that's that friendly fire I was telling you about. Come on, come on. Oh, oh. Oh! Well, I wish you luck, Treyguard. Maybe your new job will be even better than your last. Come on. These guys, these mantis things, they're no good. No good at all. Alright, so that's Ladybug. That is my number 3 game of all time. Really, really great maze game for sure. Now we move on, excuse me, to number 2, Neo Turf Masters. So this is probably the newest game on the list, 1996. And this is without a doubt the greatest arcade golf game of all time. Yeah, Treyguard, I am closer to where you are. Not quite, but almost closer to where you are than to where the fires are. They're all the way over on the West Coast. Thank goodness, because yeah, it's real bad. In West Virginia, we don't get a lot of wildfires because our weather isn't dry enough. I have no idea what it is about the climate in California that causes that to happen so frequently. So anyway, Neo Turf Masters. This game's got everything. It's got great music. The controls are great. The graphics are beautiful. It's a simple game. So I always like to play the technician. I'm playing Japan. Yeah, you're not kidding, Fishbot. All right. So this is your typical gauge. You've got a swing meter and then a sort of accuracy meter, like the impact. Club selection is easy. So we are 163 away. The 5-iron will get us almost there. Wind, yeah, I think that we're going to do pretty well if we hit this pretty much full on. That should get us on the green. Okay. And again, putting is super easy. Of course, the greens do get more challenging, but the interface itself is not bad. And so if you make all birdies, you can pretty much play 9 holes on a quarter. I'm not going to play all 9 holes, obviously. That would be too much, but I did want to play 2 or 3 holes, just to give you an idea of the greatness that is Neo Turf Masters. Oh, in the rough. Okay, so here we need to be more careful. Maybe need to hit. I guess a 1-iron is going to be our best bet. In the rough. Oof, right in the bunker. Okay. 39 yards, so we want to hit it probably about right there. Maybe hit it, well, I meant to hit it a little low, but... Okay. Could be worse. I think I've got a straight shot. There's no grain. All right.
Nice par.
So par gets you nothing, but you don't lose any holes. I've still got 2 free holes to play. We'll do one more hole.
Hole number 3. 190.
Okay, so we're going over the water here, 200 yards. You might want to bump it up and then hit it a little bit short. See how that goes. Ooh, that's going to be tricky because I got to go up and down. Too much, but could have been worse. I do like that you can hit it on its way back down too. Bam. All right, so that was Neo Turf Masters. I think it's the greatest golf game for the arcades ever. Nice Neo Geo title. So we will move on to the final game, the #1 game of all time, in my view. If you know me at all, you know this is my favorite arcade game. I've played more of this game than any other game since I found out about MAME. This is, where is it? Right here. Do Run Run. So this is the 3rd Mr. Do title that was released by Universal. This was released in the glorious year of 1984. And it combines, in my view, the best part of the first game with extra stuff. So you're still collecting things, there's still monsters, but there's no maze. You're free to go wherever and do, go wherever you want. And there's multiple ways to score, there's multiple ways to clear levels, and that's very welcome to me. I enjoy it when the game gives you options. So you've got, oops, way off to the races. You've got a ball, just like in the first game. The ball is a little bit less skittish and all over the place in this version. It pretty much always goes straight. When you collect these dots, your ball builds back up. That's how you build your ball back up. You've got those logs, and when you, as you can see, you're leaving a kicks-style square or a line behind you. And when you complete squares around the power pellets, they upgrade to be worth more points. So you can play this game a couple different ways. You can constantly make circles around a small area, and make your points that way. This is sketchy. I need to hit this, and that will freeze the board. And then if I come over here, oh boy, oh, that didn't work. You can eliminate monsters just as fast as you want, and try and get to later stages. What I found is that if you make 1 lap or 2 laps and you get the pair, I don't know if those are, they're peaches, and you get it to cherries or peaches, and then collect some and then defeat the monsters. But by far the best way to rack up a high score in this game is to maneuver as many of the enemies as possible under one of these logs and then crush them all at the same time, which can be a challenge because it's kind of like herding cats. Obviously I'm a little bit better at this when I'm not giving a running commentary, but it's also an excuse. I even on my best days, I'm sure that I'm nowhere close to being one of the best in the world in this. Oh shoot. So my all-time high score, I think I've gotten pretty close to 200,000 in this before. And of course, just like every other Universal game, collecting extra will give you an extra life. The music for this, I think, is very good. Go ahead and hit that. Oh. All right, so that was a good warm-up game. We'll play for real this time. I like the again. I like the name entry screen, and this is pretty cool. I like anything that's not just like, you know, a rolling number thing, you know, and they put some thought into it. All right. So we'll do this one more time. Maybe. Oh, I think I accidentally left the game. We'll go back into it one more time. I was trying to hit select to enter a credit, and there we go. Okay. So it's for real this time. So ideally, you want to crush at least 3. That'll give you the max 3,000, and then each additional when you crush after that is still 3,000. There we go, or 2,000, sorry, 2,000. And when there's only one guy left, then you can kind of pick up the pieces a little bit and get some extra points by making the squares and upgrading. And I'm hopeful. Get this lemon. So that's your typical stage right there. Okay. Oh, and then your ball also acts as a multiplier. So if you can get it to bounce back and forth, it'll keep multiplying up to 2,000 points. So like this will give me 1,000. So it's yet another way to score points in this game. Now, ideally, what we want to do is trap all these guys and... Oh, shoot. That would have worked perfectly if they hadn't chosen that precise moment to change color on me. Now I'm going to be in trouble because I got no more logs left and 3 guys to kill. My ball has come over there. Alright, let's get rid of one right now. The cutscene where you win an extra Mr. Do is really cool too. He goes into a house, and then 2 of them come out, or something like. Or no, it's all the extras go into a house, and one Mr. Do comes out. I don't know. I think it's cool. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I guess it does go above. I guess it does go up to 3,000. I thought that was the case. This was not 100% sure. Oh! And see, sometimes you just get killed like that. And that's no good. Maybe it didn't actually take away that life, though. So I might have caught a lucky break there. That was my own fault. It's really difficult, you know, in a stage like this where there's the log is close to a hill. You can't really herd the enemies as much as you might like. Come on, guy. There we go. 2 more letters for that elusive extra guy. Collect some bonus points. Oh boy, almost walked right into him there. Come on, come on. And they will get smarter. The enemies do get smarter. They'll pause. And just stop and get out of the way. Oh man, sometimes that quick turn just doesn't do it. So where's your cousin Stan right now, Pishbot? Oh. Well, that's how it goes sometimes. So anyway, I'd say that's a pretty average game of Do Run Run for me. You know, sometimes I just get on a tear and do really well, but this was not one of those times. This was an average game. So I hope you've enjoyed this look at my top 20 favorite arcade games of all time. I plan on doing the similar series with all my favorite systems, the Atari 8-bits, the NES, Super Nintendo. Heck, I may even do one on the Amiga. So again, thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon. Adios. So I am actually going to leave the stream running and go use the restroom and then come back, and I'm going to play some SimCity for the Super Nintendo. If anybody wants to stick around and watch that, you're welcome to. And if not, I will see you later. But like I said, the stream is still gonna be rolling. I'm gonna change the background and stuff. But first, I'm gonna use the facilities. Oh. See you, Treyguard. All right. Hey, Asifa. I didn't see you come in. Okay. So first thing we need to do is probably get rid of this. Turn the Xbox off. Load. Let's see. Get our Super Nintendo emulator up and running. But this is the best way to start your day. I'll see if a little bit of retro gaming action. Make sure my window is sized correctly. Okay. Okay. So I will reset. I don't know how to do. Okay. Yep. Yeah, this is by far the most polished, best overall SimCity there is. You know, a lot of it had to do with the fact, well, I won't comment yet because I need to actually talk about it when I start the stream. So let's see here. Why don't we do that? Oh, that's pretty. Trying to find a good streaming background. Yeah, we'll go with this. That won't look nearly as confusing once we start the game. Okay. Hello everyone, welcome to my stream of SimCity for the Super Nintendo. This is a very special game to me because although the first version of this game I played was for DOS, this version is the one that is closest to my heart. And I believe it is the most polished of all of the SimCity, classic SimCity releases. You know, the development team at Nintendo in the early part of the Super Nintendo's life was, you know, they really wanted to make sure that every release was very well done. You know, all the releases that came out of Nintendo. I don't want to name my city John. That's dumb. We'll call it Mingoville. I think that's probably a good name. I'll start this game. So, you know, one of the things that makes this game special is the music. If you've ever played this on any other platform, whether it be DOS or the Amiga, there's no music. And the music in this is just sublime. The animation is very well done. We'll go ahead and build our nuclear power plant. Can't put it there. I like to put it somewhere not near anybody else just in case it melts down. I guess we'll just stick it here and we'll build our civilization on the other side of that. So you might wonder how this game controls without a mouse. And I'll tell you, it controls pretty darn well. This game, you don't need to have, you're not really covering a whole lot of ground at any one time on the mouse, especially in the early days and so of your city. And so having, you know, cursor control isn't that big of a deal. So I always like to start out with my industrial park, and then we'll put roads all around it. I guess nobody really needs to visit the nuclear plant. Maybe they'll just take a ferry over. I don't think I'm going to get penalized for not having a road there. And then what I like to do is have a block of fire and police. One commercial zone. You don't need a lot of commercial zones at the beginning. And then a little park area. I think that's kind of nice. Okay. Ignore that call. And as you'll go on, you'll see that there are some pretty significant differences in this version than the computer-based version that Nintendo put in. Nintendo had the advantage of, you know, 3 years after this game came out, kind of hone in on what they thought was the most important things. Our residential block here. I never really got past the original SimCity. I'm sure that I've played SimCity 2000 and the later incarnations. In fact, I know I have. But when you started having to worry about water supply and things like that, it just got to be too deep. I'm a simple man, and this game was just complex enough to keep me happy. I've played a ton of City Skylines, which you do have to control the water and stuff, but that game is just so beautiful that I didn't care. It was just so fantastic. I've done streams of that before on Twitch, since that is a new game. I try to only do old games on the YouTube channel. I don't want to alienate any of our listeners by playing new stuff. All right, so now we just play a little bit of the old waiting game. We can change our game speed here, speed it up a little bit. We can also use this opportunity to take a look at our settings. So you've got your auto bulldoze, auto budget, auto go to, and background music on and off. Disasters, information. So you want to look at your map. And you can see all the different things that you can see on all the versions of SimCity. Now, the original version of SimCity that I played, I believe, was just in black and white. Even though it was on a modern VGA computer, it was a black and white experience. So this was the first color SimCity that I played, and boy, it looked great. Now, this does not render correctly on the emulator. I believe that this is supposed to have a white or a cream-colored background. You can see it's kind of hard to read, but it is not like that on the actual Super Nintendo. You got your load and your save, and this guy. He is your advisor, and this is something that's unique to the Super Nintendo version. He pops up at various points and tells you things and gives you things, and it puts a face on the game and keeps it from being too impersonal. And then you can look here and see your status of all your different zoned areas that are developed. So, like I said, this game to me, it doesn't suffer at all from not having the mouse. Completely different than another Super Nintendo game like Lemmings, where you definitely playing with the mouse is the way to go with Lemmings. I don't know if this game had compatibility with the Super Nintendo mouse, because the Super Nintendo did have a mouse that came out, but I don't know if this was built in. I know a lot of games just didn't support it. All right, village has become a town. I just love this synth. It's so emblematic of the Super Nintendo, these particular patches, just like with the Amiga. you know, there are certain synth patches that make you think, yes, this is definitely an Amiga game. Hey, Chad. Chad, you need to just leave and come over and play Gloomhaven. That's what needs to happen. All right, so we've got our house. So this is another thing that's unique to the Super Nintendo version of SimCity, as well as, if you can tell, our leaves are changing colors here. You have seasons in this version of SimCity, which is, I believe, unique to this version of the game. So I want to put my house right there, right next to the police department in the park. Prime real estate. Looks like we are in need of some more residential property. We'll just plug these in here. You definitely should, because I've got nothing going on all week. I mean, I've got all kinds of stuff I should be doing, but nothing that can't wait. Some more commercial zones in here. Give these people a place to work. I do have a port comparison video in the can of the Amiga version and the Super Nintendo version running side by side. Oh, it's winter. Just to give people a look and see how the menus and things work. Okay, here is the end of our first year. I guess this is the end of our second year, maybe. Or no, this is the budget for the upcoming year. So it looks like we are losing a little bit of money, but I don't want to raise taxes just yet. Oops. Oh, see, I can't see these arrows. There we go. No. Okay. So it is a shame that the emulation is messed up there. Okay. So we are going to build our first railway system. And it will simply encircle what we have here. I don't believe you actually need a railway station in this game. I think the train just sort of runs on its own. I don't know how effective a railway station like this would be. Really, I guess you'd want to use it in conjunction with a bus system. Okay. And I don't know if that train will be able to make that turn or not. It seemed to have disappeared into the water. But hopefully that will ease congestion a little bit, although you can see here we're still pretty congested along these ways. Okay, and let's go ahead and just keep on building out. Go commercial. Right. And then add some more residential. And we should probably put a park in pretty soon as well. And a stadium. Might put our stadium down here in this corner. Something like that. And then fill all the empty space with parkland. Power it. Funny, there's a game going on in the stadium, but there's no power. That's a shame. Although SimAnt probably came out after the mouse, so maybe they were able to build it in proactively rather than retroactively. So that is interesting to know. I've never tried SimAnt before. Need to build out our rail system. So boy, our commercial and residential, I just can't build fast enough, but we'll see how the market reacts to this. If you look here, we've got, what are these? Upper. Look at our traffic map here. Okay, so aside from this one little place, it's not so bad. But our crime map. A lot of crime around the old industrial section. It's just like on the waterfront. But I mean, there's not really much I can do about that. I've built a police station fairly close. You're always going to have crime. Oh. Okay, so our commercial needs are going down. Our residential zones are still... We're still at the fastest speed here. Yeah. Let's see, what else can we do? Well, if they want more residential, we'll give it to them. We cross over into fall again. We do need more residential because that's tax money. Build down here too on the water side. All right, zoo time. And that's extra income for the city too. We'll put our zoo right by the stadium. Makes sense. So it looks like this area right here. You know what? I'll solve your problem. What do you think about this? There we go. No more traffic. And then we'll just build right across here. Perfect. And I believe that I can make this crossing work as well. I just have to delete this part first. Come across there like that. If only real city planning was this easy, you know? There we go. And then we can lay a road right across here. Unfortunately, we can't make that work. Uh-oh. What's going on? Where have I broken the... Oh, I see. Right here. Okay, so I am making money. I'm on the positive side. No need to lower taxes. Okay, power has been restored. Like traffic is under control. I can put these crossways back through. Okay. So we have a very small need for industrial. I think I'm going to wait for these commercial zones to build themselves out. We'll see how it ends up here. Oh, I do need to... I was going to say, my zoo does not have power. Okay. build these industrial zones as close to the police station as we can. I just love that music. Pilot Wings is very similar. SimCity Savings and Loan. The bank is just like the bank in real life. They'll give you a loan, but they expect payment in full. And we'll put our bank. Low interest loans. I don't want to take out a loan right now. I don't need to. Again, the music changes every year. All very good. Some more parkland. Actually, I guess we do need some more commercial buildings. Let's build a couple. Maybe some light industrial. You can't really zone for light or heavy in SimCity, but in my mind it's light industrial because it's going next to some residential areas. Alright, things are coming along just fine. But I can't tell you how many years I spent playing this game in, you know, middle school. Just so cool. And the whole lean back experience too, you can't discount that. You know, when you're playing a game on the PC, you're hunched in front of a monitor, and with a Super Nintendo, you're kicked back on the couch, chillaxing. I've got a real need for more industrial zones, although these are not built out yet. I'm also almost out of money. Let's go build up these roads. May need to start to raise taxes a little bit. Looks like we should probably just get rid of some of these and build industrial instead. Alright, so we're still on the plus side. We're just not making money as fast as I would like to make it. But maybe if I continue to build industrial zones, that'll keep on bringing in the tax dollars. Got more traffic jams here. I don't know how you can have traffic here. I mean, I've got the railway going right next to it. And the rails are just so much more expensive, but go ahead and build these out around here like this. I remember playing before where I had no roads and I still had traffic problems. So I don't know how that part of the AI works. But look at this. We're starting to build some really cool structures here. Unfortunately, we're not seeing that kind of growth over here on this side. Maybe I should have put some, built some more commercial stuff around there. It's easier for people to get to. Everything looks like it's developing nicely, except for got this guy down here. Doesn't seem to want to join the party. Probably could have put my zoo right there. But all right, 20,000 people. Well, I guess there is no reward for 20,000. I was kind of waiting around to see if there was anything cool to put in, but anyway, this has been just a quick look at the Super Nintendo version of SimCity. Like I said, look forward to, or maybe once this gets published, the port comparison will already have happened. But anyway, check that out if you haven't already, and see what you think the differences are. All right, guys. Have a good one. I'll talk to you later. Adios. All right. So that is the second thing that the last part of the stream. I may be back a little bit, and I really want to start streaming Chrono Trigger because I love that game. But I think I'm gonna take a little time off and see how I want to do this. So thanks Hasifa, Lobsterminator, Chad, Pishbot, Necronom. See you guys. Oh, and Chrono Cross. I don't know. I don't have the love for Chrono Cross that I did. I played it, but just not as much as Trigger. But I'd really like to kind of do it in half-hour chunks or something. And I think it would be fun. It's the most beautiful 16-bit game, without a doubt. I mean, I've never seen anything that was that looked as good. But yeah, I'm gonna see. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Stream it out. But anyway, I'm gonna stop for now. Oh yeah, and you're right. I forgot about Super Metroid. I actually went through and was playing through Super Metroid, but it is not as pretty as Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger is, I mean, it was a late release. It came out, I think, in '96, and boy, there's nothing like it. But anyway, I will see y'all later.